know me. You're like, yeah, we know Nathaniel. Pretty good, alright, Katie.
Alright, now raise your hand if you say you would know me. Katie Geiger. Okay, I mean, cool, that's decent.
Okay, alright, 50-50.
Yeah, I'd say, about even.
Okay, I want you to scream really loud if you like me better than Katie Geiger.
Okay, now, how about everyone scream if they like me better? You know, that's pretty good.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of strange phrases out here. I don't think they know us that well.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Saturday night when we got a lot of people from out of town.
It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So
let's introduce our families.
Okay.
You guys need to know us better because we're fascinating and wonderful, beautiful people.
Sure. My family is here tonight, so if you guys could stand up, family, friends from back home, whoever you are, wherever you are. Welcome and thank you for coming. I love you all, even though you're crazy sometimes. Thank you.
Alright. Now, I got my family here. It's like this row here. Stand up. And then got my family. Got girlfriend Lauren and her mom. You want to stand up. You know, I guess those are my brother's little friends, Michael and Mary. I want to say Happy Valentine's Day to my girlfriend Lauren. I gotta say that. Terribly sorry, Lauren, that I'm busy on Valentine's Day, so I'll make it up to you. I will give you so many presents after this. It's just gonna be crazy. I'll probably take you to prom like 100 times if you want to or something. I don't know.
Do you even like prom?
Yeah, you know.
Prom was always kind of awkward.
Really?
You know, like just dancing with someone you don't even know, really, just kind of feeling like this.
How much fun is this supposed to be? You know, the problem is prom doesn't work like in the movies, where in the movies everybody would be doing this, but they'd actually be having a good time. Whereas in reality, it's just, you know, you have to make awkward small talk, make it a little less bad. Like, what's your dad doing?
He's alright.
Good.
Have you tried the punch yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good this year.
Great. Pineapple?
Yeah, some berries.
They want berry. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what?
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
lot of topics. Katie, what's the first topic you should know?
Let's start with politics.
Let's do that.
Senators have been working all week to cut down the $920 billion stimulus package.
While some cuts may seem unfortunate, for example, they cut $14 billion from education. I think we can all agree many of the cuts were things that were excessive to begin with.
For example, they cut out the $1 billion of funding that was to ensure that all women over the age of 81 have their own embroidered pillowcase.
$45 million was allocated to provide all baton throwers currently in a marching band with their very own personal microwave. They'll love it.
$2 billion was supposed to go towards the Yodeling Milkmaid initiative. This would have given all towns with a population of less than 7,000 with their own personal yodeling Swiss milkmaid.
Kind of wish they kept that one. And finally, they cut $1.5 billion that was to provide all men between the ages of 22 and 29 and 7 months with a bowl of oatmeal and a Pop-Tart. All right, Katie, let's now turn our attention to the world of science and invention.
Last May, a contest to develop a new light bulb was announced. The winner must invent a household light bulb that produces 60 watts of light using less than 10 watts of energy. This new light bulb will last more than 25,000 hours, which is 17 years.
Which may seem like a good thing, but here's my concern. What's going to become of the light bulb joke? The next generation may not know the light bulb joke. I can find myself as a father of 5 saying to my kids, look here, children, how many tigers does it take to change a light bulb? You're like, what? Change? Oh, Father, you humor us.
On to more inventions. The $8 billion, 17-mile-long Hadron Cathedral Collider, located in Switzerland, has recently been starting up. Some leading scientists feared that the collider's ability to create black holes would suck the world into it and destroy our planet. However, Michelangelo Mangano, one of the machine's creators, says that there's no reason to believe that the machine has had any unnatural effects.
The New York Times recently reported that the 28,482 pipe Wanamaker organ was the largest playable instrument in the world.
False. The Times seems to have forgotten about the 1,000-foot kazoo.
It's a big kazoo. Not up to 1,000 feet, though. Anyway, the 50 billion gallon jug.
And the giant nose flute spanning from Montana to the Bahamas.
Now let's turn our attention to a bit of human interest. The New York Times article, Glimpses of Elusive Quarry, Warblers, Ducks, and My Dad, says that a little girl finds a bird-watching trip provides her with a better understanding of her father. Upon finding a picture of her dad, this comment makes a lot more sense. In case you didn't notice, he's an ostrich.
This just in, breaking news, they have caught the security footage of the Macon thief.
We've all been wondering on campus, what's happened to our fresh crew? Why don't we have those little tabs anymore? Who's been putting those false names on there? Breaking news, we've got here the first people to see it, relatively. And unbelievable. You're just hunking. All right, for our final segment, we have a special segment for you called the Facebook Stalker Moment. That's right. We've been stalking your Facebooks, the Facebooks of Indiana Wesleyan, to bring you the latest news in your lives. According to her Facebook, excuse me, we got Keith Drury here. Keith Drury, one of the professors here. He says, if you look at his favorite activities, work hard, play hard, sleep hard. We can all listen to that.
Facebook of Chase Adams. Chase is 5 feet 10 inches tall.
That's Sean Clark's Facebook.
Sean Clark.
Not Chase Adams.
Welcome.
Sean Clark's one of our own. Well, it says Sean is, I love FNL. Saturday should be even better. Which is exciting for you.
Congratulations for being here.
All right. Do we have Chase Adams' Facebook? Apparently not. How about, do we have Brian Kirby's Facebook? Brian Kirby. Emily Mayturtle writes on Brian Kirby's wall just yesterday. She wrote, "Hey, I hope you're having a great day. Oh, and I just lost the game." Now we've all just lost the game. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this Facebook Stalker moment. Let you know, anything you put on your Facebook is fair game. Oh, you can bring that back up. Stephanie Schroeder is getting married in 5 months. Praise Jesus.
Amen.
Just remember that. Hey, baby, I love you so much. Let's give it up for Stephanie Schroeder and Jeff Baker. And that wraps up the Facebook Stalker moment. Anything out there is fair game. And so that wraps it up. And I just want to say, in a world full of gray areas,
All you need is a good gag line.
good night.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Well, I've been working on this one song in particular, and I'm convinced without a shadow of a doubt that this is going to be the next world anthem for at least a couple of decades. I mean, this is the kind of song that just sifts through one's soul and resonates deeply within the warmest recesses of the human heart. Could you just listen to a bit of this and tell me what you think?
Yeah, sure, I'll give it a listen, but I mean, Billy, I just hope it's as good as you say it is. I just don't know if the world is ready for another disaster like the last song you made me listen to. Oh, what was it? Richard Nixon, Captain Crunch, JFK, Sucker Punch! No, but seriously, it was really bad.
Are you kidding me, man? Hey, We Didn't Start the Fire is an instant classic. Japanese people are gonna love that song once I had that line about Godzilla.
Well, I mean, we could use a few more pop culture references, but anyways, let's hear the new stuff.
Alright, here it is. Just give it a listen. Bake me the clam, Mr. Pastry Man. Would you bake me a cake tonight? You know I'm in the mood for something frosty and sweet, and I know you can make me feel alright.
I don't know, Billy, the whole part about the pastries is just kind of lame. Maybe you should try writing about the character who's a bit more relatable. Because, I mean, seriously, how many times have you been down and out and you say to yourself, man, a pastry would just really quell my emotional distress right now?
Are you kidding me, man? Listen, you know, out of all of my friends, the only one who has stuck with me through and through, even in my darkest hours, has been that sweet little Debbie. I mean, her Swiss cake rolls are like an infinitely absorbent sponge for the tears of my sorrows.
Billy, all I'm saying is, if you want to write the world's next anthem, then you're going to have to write some lyrics that the people can really grab onto. Alright?
Okay. Just listen to this next little ditty. This will get you. Okay, this will get you. Alright, here we go. Stuff with that dog, Mr. Taxidermist. I just couldn't let little Spittles go. Something evil in the garbage struck a chord in his nose. So could you put it in his favorite
kind of went the opposite direction with that one there, didn't you? Well, let's just think about this for a second. The song's probably more relatable to like the mourning families of a recently lost pet, but what kind of sicko is gonna stuff their dead dog and then put it on display in their house? Just creepy. I mean, so, anything else you got for me?
All right. Okay, if you didn't like that one, you're gonna love this one.
Okay, great.
Here we go. Let me a book, Mr. Librarian. Can I borrow one of your leather bounds? You know, I'm in the mood for some mockingbird that I can spit. Entertain me tonight.
I don't even know if you listen when I speak. Maybe you'd be better off writing a song about that little teeny tiny attention span of yours. And besides, I'm always more of a Mark Twain kind of guy.
Okay. All right. Just forget about that song. All right, that one, that's old news. Okay. This next song, this one's going straight to the top. Okay, just here we go. Listen to this one. Pull out the teeth, Mr. Cabinet Man. Can you give me some veneers tonight? You know, Grandma's been a grill. There's been decay in my molars, but I know you can make them shiny and white.
Okay. Come on, man. I mean, seriously, when was the last time you even went to your grandma's house and ate peanut brittle? Okay, I did that stuff when I was like 8. Pretty sure I'm not 8 years old anymore, and please tell me that you have a more pressing issue in your life right now than the result of peanut brittle getting all up in your teeth.
Come on, man. Okay, you know how hard I try to maintain a healthy relationship with my grandma. In fact, I was just over at her house last night playing the bridge with that sweet old lady. You know, I can play bridge with her all night long as long as she keeps the cards on the table and the cookies in the oven. That's the problem with today's society. Kids aren't respecting their elders. And that's what I write my next song about. Write about my grandma. I mean, probably won't tell her about it, but I'll do it.
Billy, I mean, you can't expect a song about cavities and grandmas to really catch on. I mean, who seriously wants to hear a song about their trip to the dentist? Okay, you know, I'll give you the fluoride treatment, foamy and delicious, but that doesn't overshadow the fact that you're about to have pointy metal objects to be shoved into your gum line.
Okay. You know what, maybe it's just this melody isn't tripping your trigger, something like that, alright? Just listen to this next song.
Right.
A little 3-part harmony going. Here we go. Whoa, need a Valentine. Whoa.
Nope. Wasn't the melody. Definitely like the other one better. It's just, dude, your writing skills are under par. I am sorry.
You know, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this line of work. You know, if I can't find that inspiration that's going to drive me to write the greatest pop masterpiece that this world has ever seen, then maybe I should just give up the dream.
Come on, Billy. I mean, hey, come on. I mean, I'm sure you'll find something worth writing about someday. You know, these things just take time. You can't expect to write a song and go change the world with your music. Hey, you know what you need? You know what you need, my friend? You need to learn to harness the spirit of the American dream. You need to get your head in that purple mountain majesty and bald eagle. You're a bald eagle. Come on, where are your wings at? Okay, there you go. You're a bald eagle. You're flying over your territory, and before you know it, you're dropping eggs of gold, my friend. You're dropping eggs of gold. Wait. I just had that. Oh, yeah. Sit down. Okay, picture this. I want you to imagine that you're an incredibly talented musician.
Alright. Go with that.
And I want you to picture that you're in a rundown bar somewhere full of people who become victims to their own devices. Okay? And you're playing for a crowd of people who are desperately searching for a form of release from the drudgery of their own lives. And they turn and they look to you, Billy Joel. Hey, piano man, how about a melody? Yeah?
Yeah, man, that's good. Okay. Yeah. You know, that's not gonna work. I got it better. Here we go. Play me a tune, Mr. Accordion Man. Pump out a tune, you're sweet. You know that organ sound gets my heart going round. And I've been sitting pretty still all night.
You're just awful, aren't you? I mean, with that one, I'm gone because that's just ridiculous.
Put my whole heart into those songs.
Okay.
Those are platinum hits, man.
The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave.
Would you shut up?
The touch of your hand says you can.
Bad guy! Dude. I'm so bummed about that test. I put in like 8 hours of studying in that, and I feel like it didn't even matter.
Oh, I know, bro. It's so deflating to spend that much time and effort and energy on a test and only come out with a C-.
That's what I got too.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
a joke.
Are you guys talking about that test?
Yeah.
It was so hard.
I know. What'd you get?
Well, I'm not sure, but I think I got a 92.5%.
Bad guy!
So I'm reading here in the book of Revelation, and I see something about a dragon and a lady, and like there's the dragon, he's like got his mouth, and he's just getting ready to eat the baby. I feel so bad for that baby, and I just don't get it. Why that would even a dragon?
You're kind of completely taking that passage out of context. It's probably because you haven't had the inductive Bible study class here at school. Without that class, there's really no way you can properly interpret Scripture. You're kind of like a puppy with a rocket launcher.
Bad guy!
Hey guys, did you know you can get nachos as a meal at Wildcat?
Yeah, I knew that. You didn't know that? Hey guys, did you know that?
Yeah, we knew that.
Man, I can't believe you didn't know that.
Bad guy!
Yeah, this class is hard. I don't even know what that word is. Like, I don't know what it means. What does it even mean? I don't know.
I don't know. I guess if I were honest with myself, I'm not really here to get a degree. I just want to find the right guy and get married.
Duh. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Every girl!
Sea monster. Oh, there you are. I wasn't sure if you were going to come or not. I didn't know if my text messages would reach you under the ocean. I'm so glad you're here. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come. I guess I would have been less happy than if you had come. Oh, sea monster. Sometimes I wish I had fish ears. That way I could communicate with you through echolocation. All I have is Sprint. Oh, will our love ever work? Why is our love forbidden? Oh no, I think I hear someone. Hide!
Hey, did you hear some screeching or yelling or something?
No, I was just moving a heavy table on some tile flooring.
Really? Well, what's a cute girl like you doing over here in the southern dock anyway?
What? Just because I'm a girl doesn't mean I can't be a hard-working sailor on the docks? Doesn't mean I can't lift a crate or get a tattoo. You know what? You are such a chauvinist dock worker.
What is this? Hey, I saw that! I'm gonna go tell everyone!
Thanks, sea monster. It's kind of sweet that
won't something always smell fishy?
You're so funny, Mer. You think it's so cool to tell Mer people that they can't love one another just because they don't have amygdalas in their brains or eyelids? You guys are such amphibicists.
Oh, now, Kim, we all know you dated a monster before.
Hey, don't they have 99-cent Murph and Turf at rallies on Saturdays? Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving Larry.
Just leave him.
No.
Please welcome husband and wife.
doesn't like onions.
He doesn't like onions.
You don't like onions?
No.
Well, do you like Vidalia onions?
What are those?
Those like a special kind of onion.
Yeah, I like those.
Okay, good.
Do you like Vidalia onions?
Yeah. Have you ever even had onions?
Yeah.
Have you ever had Vivian's Vidalia onions?
Well, no.
Well, then you haven't had onions. Go down to Vivian's Vidalia Onion Shack, get yourself a Vidalia onion, and then tell me whether or not you like onions.
But I like Vidalia onions.
Oh.
You ever been to Vivian's Vidalia onions?
No.
Have you been to Vidalia onions? Still no.
You don't like Vidalia onions.
I don't like Vidalia onions. He doesn't like onions either.
He doesn't like Vidalia onions. You don't like Vidalia onions.
I don't like Vidalia onions.
Have you ever had a nice big juicy burger and said to yourself, this thing would be perfect only if it had a Vidalia onion?
No.
Then you don't like Vidalia onions. Have you ever had an entire bowl of nothing but Vidalia onions?
No.
You don't like Vidalia onions. Have you ever decorated your entire house in nothing but framed and Getty's photos of baby faces inside of Vidalia onions?
No.
You don't like Vidalia onions. Have you ever had kidney failure and asked your doctor for a Vidalia onion transplant?
Of course not.
You don't like Vidalia onions. Have you ever led an entire group of Girl Scouts on a nationwide tour where they went from house to house singing the little-known Willie Nelson hit O2B of Vidalia onion?
No.
You don't like Vidalia onions. Do you imagine a system of government with three separate but equal branches? One central branch would have a Vidalia onion. This would be balanced by two other branches, one with a Vidalia onion and the other with a Vidalia onion. What? Then you, my friend, do not much like Vidalia onions.
I guess I don't like Vidalia onions. Do you still like Vidalia onions?
He doesn't like Vidalia onions.
Oh no, he does like Vidalia onions, no.
Did I just hear you say you don't like Vidalia onions? No. Do you know all you can do with the Vidalia onion? Well, tell me. You can chop it up and put it on a salad. You can add some salt and eat it like an apple. You can put it on a sandwich or use it as a garnish. You can mix it with some vinegar and some basil, and then you have salad dressing. You can play catch with a Vidalia onion. Toss it to your brother. He'll love it. You can play dress up with it. Play Mr. Vidalia Onion Head with it. You can ask it if it loves you, and it won't say no. You can have it in your wedding. 6 of my groomsmen and the preacher were all Vidalia onions. You can attach it to your dashboard with a spring and go doing it the whole way home. You can use it as a lawn decoration, or you can dye it purple, or you can crush it with an anvil, or you can attach it to your mother's head and go wookie, wookie, wookie as you dance around your sewing figure. You can toss it into a tiger's den and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. You can build a model Grand Canyon out of it. You can give it a raise that it probably won't remember. You can grind it with a turbine. You can do all of that and more with a Vidalia onion. Can you really put my mother's head and go wookie, wookie, wookie? Yeah, you could.
Oh no, that was just a metaphor.
I thought it was a simile.
No.
Maybe it's smiley.
Where did you guys get off telling him he does or he doesn't like Vidalia onions? He may or he may not like Vidalia.
He doesn't like Vidalia onions.
Well, that's up to him.
Of course he likes Vidalia onions. You can put a Vidalia onion on a trash can and call it Daddy.
My mother was a Vidalia onion. I'm half Vidalia onion myself. He does not like Vidalia onions.
Okay, your mother was not a Vidalia onion. And it's hindered you guys' jobs to tell him what he does and doesn't like. Hey, why don't we just settle this and let him try Vidalia onions?
Is it a Vidalia onion or a Vidalia onion?
Vidalia onion. Go ahead, try the Vidalia onion.
He doesn't like Vidalia onions.
911 emergency.
I need an ambulance.
I have you at 103 Spud Street.
Yeah.
What's the emergency?
There's been a death.
Who's the victim?
I am.
Good evening, fellow congressmen and congresswomen. Thank you for joining me this evening. Tonight is February 14th, 2109. I would also like to welcome those who are joining us via satellite on the planet Zara. Now, we have a lot to discuss tonight, so let's just go ahead and get started. I will go ahead and open the floor for discussion on Bill H.R. 421, the Solar Conservation Act. It's time that we open the floor for discussion on this very important topic in this critical time in our nation's history. I yield 1 minute to the congressman from Arizona.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this bill and encourage my fellow congressmen to vote for the Solar Conservation Act. Following the global switch from oil to pure solar energy set in motion by President Nader in 2052, we have progressively been using up more and more of the sun's rays. I know, it's an inconvenient truth. But as a result of our solar consumption,
something out of the sun. I fear that as we continue this aggressive consumption of the sun, the Earth will be completely void of any natural sunlight at all. Some companies have even resorted to importing sunlight from other galaxies. We must lose our dependency on foreign sun.
What then do you suggest Americans use to power their helicopters, their time machines, and their Sega Dreamcast? Now that we finally caught on.
Well, there is a solution. Scientists have recently discovered that painting a kitchen generates 1/100th of a watt of power. We can employ millions of domestic jobs, revitalize the economy, and have the entire nation powered on 100% pure, clean kitty power. I urge Congress to subsidize kitchens immediately.
With all due respect, let's not jump to conclusions. Have we all forgotten what happened when we tried to switch to nuclear power?
How dare you compare kitchens to the nuclear meltdown of 2029?
Why is no one discussing the environment on this issue? Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong opposition of this proposal. Our planet depends on the constant consumption of solar energy, and we should be consuming more of it, not less, because of this solar conservation movement. We're experiencing an intense global cooling that is threatening our planet. If we do not stop decreasing the amount of sun absorbed, our planet will soon become unlivable.
Global cooling is a natural phenomenon. There is no scientific evidence suggesting that man is causing global cooling.
We are absorbing less sun and the temperatures are dropping. What other evidence do you need?
That's enough! We have important matters to discuss, and this type of bickering will solve nothing. Fellow countrymen and countrywomen, we must work together to overcome these obstacles. Take a seat. Let's move on. I'll now open the floor for discussion on House Bill 613, the Illegal Alien Path to Citizenship.
Now, Mr. Speaker, before I start, I would like to bring out the aliens. Aliens? Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this bill, and I would like to remind my fellow congressmen that this bill does not provide amnesty for these aliens. Instead, this bill imposes a hefty fine of 1,000 ameros for any illegal alien. If they choose not to pay this fine, then and then only will they be sent back to their native lands. Now, if all 100 million illegal aliens choose to pay back this fine, we will have raised billions of dollars, which will go towards paying off our national debt, which I will remind you is near 100 trillion ameros.
No, okay, Mr. Speaker, this is ridiculous, and I rise in opposition to the illegal alien path to celestial citizenship.
Okay.
I feel it is a strong threat to our celestial sovereignty. There are now over 100 million aliens inhabiting planet Earth, and every month they are here, 500 million Americans and Earthlings lose their jobs.
The economy is dependent on these atrocious little aliens.
These atrocious little aliens are not an asset to our economy.
Listen.
I think we should all just calm down and, you know, we could always just pass another stimulus plan to create more jobs. You know, we've passed hundreds of them over the last few decades, and they've got to start kicking in at some point.
I know we're all on edge. It's likely because of the news that came out yesterday. I wanted to clear up these other issues before we moved on, but let's just clear the air. I know what we're all upset about. As you all know, the people of the moon are demanding their independence from the United States of America.
Based on what grounds? Solely because they do not have representation?
You know, we did this too. We receded from Britain, the American Revolution. Does that ring a bell?
I don't get it. It's tough.
America always existed.
I know it's a complex issue, so I've called on our two most senior members of Congress on this one. I know we try to shy away from this, but on something this complex, it's important for us to seek counsel. Go ahead and call in Ron Paul and John McCain. healthcare plan cured and reversed aging back in 2013. Senator McCain, you make me wish the opposite.
Friends and fellow Americans, I said that I wanted the troops to be in Iraq for 100 more years, and I plan to see it.
Gentlemen, how do we work through these issues? We have tried everything. We have tried throwing money at the problem, and we have tried throwing more money at the problems. It just doesn't seem to be enough.
Well, Mr. Speaker, when the country is in crisis, it is important for us to listen to the advice of our founders. We don't need more spending, and we don't need more bureaucracy. What we need is more freedom. Now, the Constitution was written to limit the powers of government, not expand it. And it's not the government that has made our nation great, but it's people. You give them more freedom, and we will great again.
Congress, this man has been right every time over the last 100 years. He's bound to be wrong this time. I think we just spend more money.
Yeah, that's good. All in favor of doing more of the same and throwing more money at our problems? Aye! Congress dismissed!
I will not freeze!
No, steamer. Caramel white mocha.
Yeah. Oh, look at all this money I got. So much cash. I must have $15 here at least. I don't even know what to do with all this money. Oh, I got bunches of it. Bunches. Bunches of money. Bunches of money. Bunches of money. Bunches of money. You're my dad's a professor. I don't pay tuition. I get all my ginseng from my bone and nutrition. College is easy when your pockets is fat. They don't accept my gold. Yo, what's up with that? Shady girls on my left. Shady girls on my right. Open guy in the middle and they start to fight.
be. Do you like the teal? Do you? Or what about the pink? Oh, I love the pink. That'd be so pretty, and you just look so cute in a pink tie.
I'm not gonna wear pink, Jenny.
Oh, come on, you'd be
that's too
so
much.
cute.
No.
Oh, do you like these flowers? Oh, I love.
I can't take it. I can't take it, John. I'm a senior, and I don't even have a girlfriend to give a ring to by spring.
It's okay.
How do you do it? How do you do you, Johnny?
Just settle down. Just settle down. Listen, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret here that I learned from my time with Jenny.
Anything.
Okay, listen to me. You gotta find out what girls want and just become that thing. It's that easy.
Become that thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if girls like baseball, you become a baseball player. Girls like the demo line, you become Robbie.
Become Robbie.
You got this. You can do this.
I got this.
It's all you, dude. Right here. Nice.
All right, class. I'm gonna go ahead and call the roll. If you have any other name you want me to call by, go ahead and let me know. All right, Stacy Caldwell.
Here.
Good. Chester Adwell.
Here.
Kristen Barnes.
Here.
Nick Cook. Nick Cook? Nope, no Nick Cook.
Actually, I go by Edward. Edward Cullen. I see you're reading Twilight. You smell so delectable. I'm feeling very protective of you right now.
Who are you?
I'm incredibly fast and strong. My skin is pale white and ice cold. My eyes change colors. Sometimes I speak like I'm from a different time. I never eat or drink anything, and my skin sparkles in the sun. What am I? Say it out loud.
You're crazy.
Are you afraid?
No.
Oh, you really shouldn't have done that.
How do you think I should wear my hair for the wedding? Should I wear it up or down? And where will your grandma sit? Do you think she should sit in the second row or third row?
Probably third row.
Third row? Okay.
Yeah. Fourth row, third row, second row.
Hey, Johnny, is it sunny outside?
Yeah, it's pretty sunny out.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Where's your grandma gonna sit?
I mean, I can drive. I just don't know if I have enough gas in my car to make it to Paige.
I mean, I can borrow. I know someone.
Hey, ladies.
Okay.
How you doing?
Hey. Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
You guys want to make a snowman or something?
What's on your face?
Sparkles.
We're actually gonna study. Yeah. Got a project in the morning. See ya.
I'll catch you around, I'm sure.
Right.
You'll see me.
Okay.
How you doing? Good.
How old are you?
17.
But wait! Don't you want to know how long I've been 17?
Listen, buddy. When I told you to be more like what women want, I didn't mean for you to literally become a vampire.
Hey, what do you think about werewolves, though? You think chicks would dig werewolves? Nothing? You don't think so?
Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day, beauty was a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I've always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in this neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Would you be? Could you be? Won't you be my neighbor? Hello, neighbor. Neighborhood friend, that's what we are. Television neighbors and television friends. It's so nice to be with you today. You know, you're so very special. You're so special that if a doctor put a scope down your throat, he'd see nothing but specialness on your insides. You know, I was thinking about something. Do you know what a date is? A date is what you do when you really like someone and you want to kiss them. Have you ever been on a date? Mr. Rogers hasn't. There's a girl in the neighborhood that I really like. She's got youthful blonde hair and a spray-on tan. I really like that. Do you really like that? I'd like you to come along with me on my neighborhood date. Come on, she's at the door. A door is what you go in and out of. Did you know that? This is a girl. That's what I like to go on dates with. The first thing you need to do is introduce yourself. Hello, I'm Fred Rogers.
Hello, I'm Susan.
It's so nice to meet you.
It's so good to meet you.
Brought my television friends along so they could see you on our date.
Oh, I'm so glad you did.
Now you know what I like to do. Going for the awkward hug and a peck on the cheek. Now you need to compliment her and make her know she's special. I like your nose.
Thanks.
And your hair.
Oh, thank you.
And your spray-on tan.
Thank you.
Would you like a kiss? That's called a bad verbal signal. Now is not a good time to go in for the kiss. I'll ask her if she wants to go to a restaurant instead. Would you like to go to a restaurant, Susan?
Oh, yes, that would be wonderful.
Come on. Now you need to ask her a question about herself and make her feel special. While she's answering, you can admire her beautiful face and her spray-on tan. Susan, what makes you so special?
Oh, my spray-on tan.
Isn't that wonderful? You know, when you put that spray-on tan all over your face, it's like a gift. It's like you're giving me a present on the inside. Now would be a good time to go to the land of make-believe. And see what happens when Lady Elaine and Lady Aberley both want to go on a date with Mr. McFeely. So they take him to King Friday's court. Trolley, take us to the land of make-believe.
Who would you like to go on a date with?
I don't know, King Friday. I could go either way.
Lady Aberline? Why would Mr. McFeely like to go on a date with you?
Because love can move mountains, climb over rainbows, and it's there for you when you're really down.
Fascinating. Lady Elaine? Why would Mr. McFeely go on a date with you?
Because,
So both of you can go on a date with him.
That sounds good. Yes, I can go with that.
King Friday. Will they cut me waist or long ways? Because I could go either way.
That did not work like I anticipated.
Oh, hello, neighbor. Don't you worry. King Friday will get it all sorted out. My date is going splendidly. You know, when you're on a date with a special person, it's always a good idea to provide them with a little entertainment. That's why I invited my good friend Edmund, the neighborhood roving poet, to come along and recite some poetry for us. Hello, Edmund. So nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Edmund is a poet. He makes words sound just the way you feel. Can you make words sound just the way you feel? Special is a word that says just how you feel, but bubbly gumption is a word that sounds just the way you feel. When you say a word like bubbly gumption, you can't help but feel special on the inside. Edmund, could you recite some poetry for us?
Oh, I would love to.
It's for my date, so make it a love poem.
I think I have just the thing. I want to be a walrus, floating on the sea. But I am just a man, yearning to be free. But if I were a walrus, I would have only one plea, that you would become one too, and then you would marry me.
Oh, that was wonderful. You made me really want to be a walrus. Well, thank you so much, Edmund. Thank you. So special. Wasn't that wonderful?
Oh, yes.
You ready to go home now?
I think so.
This is the part of the date when you ask her for her phone number. And if you had a really good time, you get to kiss. Susan, you're so special. I prize you. You're like a prize stag to me. Could I have your phone number?
Oh, yes. It's 765-677-4911. Now, remember, that's 765-677-4911.
Oh, thank you very much. I will hold on to this.
You call me anytime.
I will. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Susan thinks I'm special, and I think you're special. Someday you'll find someone who you really like too, and you'll want to go on a date with them. I'm so glad you came along for my date. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling, a feeling you know that I'll be back when the day is new, and I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about. I will too. It's a good feeling being with you, to share interesting things with you. You make each day a special day for me. By just your being yourself. I like you just the way you are. Bye-bye.
write a song for all the IWU couples. You know, just to give you guys props. So, here it goes. Going to IWU, gonna find a nice girl. She's gonna be a Christian, gonna rock out my world. I've tried to find a girl, I've tried and tried. All I want is a girl that's sanctified. We can go to chapel, I can rub your back. We can go to the comments and watch movies on my Mac. But only on the lower level of the comments. The Globe Theater is really cool, and after that we can swim in the pool. But only if you wear a one-piece. You gotta get up and move if you want to have a chance, but it doesn't matter because we're not allowed to dance. Most of us can't dance anyway. We can sit on this couch and you can make me giggle, but not too hard so my muscles don't jiggle. Just kidding, I'm so ripped. When life gives you lemons, you can make lemonade, but don't you drink that icon, cause that's so cliche. You dress so modest and you dress so humble, and it's virtually impossible for me to stumble. Keep your feet on the floor with the overhead light. People barging in the room makes a very awkward night. I never thought dating would be so fun and free, but who wants a girlfriend with no privacy? I'm just joking. Kind of. If you're dating and I wouldn't put a ring on it. If you're dating and I wouldn't put a ring on it.
feel like they got movie stars. Well, yeah, skinny and serious, that's right.
Good morning, you guys. Welcome to Hunter Safety. My name is Kenny Robinson, and I am Mr. Dick McLeish. And for those of you who don't know how to spell, that's MCCLEESH.
It sure is nice to be here.
It sure is.
You know, I'll tell you, Dick, how long do you think we've been doing this? What do you say there?
Well, Kenny, I was born in 1958.
True.
You were born in 62.
Right.
I moved to Kentucky in 67.
Right, that's true, but your dad got hit by that bus in 85.
He sure did.
Backtracking a couple of years.
Okay.
Armstrong landed on the moon in 76.
Sure did.
You gotta factor in that I bagged that 12-pointer in 96.
Sure did. Well, then you got your tonsils removed 2 months ago.
True.
So what does that make? 7 months now?
That's true. If you do the math on that, that's about as long as it takes for a baby to fully develop.
That's
Sure is.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our intern. Sarah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Temp, by the way. I'm a temp. Hi, I'm a temp.
Yeah.
I'm
Sarah.
Sarah.
Around here.
Yeah. I'm Sarah. I'm 22 years old. I was trying to look for a temporary job on Career Finder, and I landed here. I'm actually a business marketing major at Tri-Valley State, where I actually do things that are worth my time. And my hometown is Noblesville.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna start you guys off by telling you, I know this wasn't required by state law, but this is not time to move around, okay? Okay? Start us off.
Okay, folks, I want to make something really clear. This is our free time. Okay? We are volunteers. And if there's one thing I know for sure, there is no place Dick right here would rather be than hunkered down at some tree stand, scoping out some beer.
That's exactly right, Kenny. Could you hold on a second, guys? This is our time. Go ahead, Kenny.
Sure, we'll do it. All right, folks, let's go ahead and transition to the lecture portion of this here course. First of all, in order to understand the very foundation of this course, it's important to understand the very foundation. There's to be sleeping in my class, right? First of all, it's a waste of your time, and B, most importantly, it's a waste of my time.
That's right. Guys, Kenny's a little bit nicer than I am. Hey, wake up! Okay? Wake up! Go ahead, Kenny. Good, great.
As I was saying, the very foundation of this course was built on the very foundation of what this great country was built upon.
That's right, blessed nation.
Greatest nation on earth, greatest nation under the heavenly skies.
That's right.
God bless the heavenly skies. God bless America.
God bless America. You know what, guys? These colors don't rhyme.
That's true. I sure is. I sure know.
Guys, I want to transition into a lecture portion of this course. Issued, authorized, mandated, supplemented, and provided by the fine state of Indiana in correlation with District 17, also in correlation with the Missouri Valley Trapping, Fishing, Hunting Organization of the United States, also with the National Game Organization Magazine Association, Stock Fund Center, right?
Right.
That's right. It's just a great course. Again, I'd appreciate it if you'd take a sip.
I get tickled. You think they're so cute for me?
They sure are, Kenny. Now, Kenny,
can I get some coffee?
Kenny, really quick, before you get any more coffee,
come on.
I'd like for you to take us into the gun maintenance portion.
Sure, let's do that. Guys, let's go ahead and transition to the gun safety portion of this here exercise.
That's right. Guys, I want to ask you guys a question. Can anybody, you know what? I might as well just do this in Crete. Can anybody tell me what that there is? That right there.
give you the permission to be eaten in my class. That's right. Dickie, get the trash.
I got it. You know, I don't know where this kid get the idea that you can come up here and eat. Throw your bag of Doritos, miss your pen. Throw it away, dimwit! Now, can anybody tell me what this here is? Right here. What is that?
Yeah, a trigger maybe?
That's wrong. It's a trigger of a bolt-action 7mm cherry stock rifle. And most importantly, it's the difference between a dead animal like this and a dead shrimp like one of you.
Guys, yeah, you have a question.
Yeah, well, in the manual that you gave us, it says you can't use a caliber larger than a 7mm.
Right.
I mean, is that true? Yeah.
Well, I would answer that question if that were the dumbest question I have ever heard. Dickie, you want to pull me in?
What's that, kid?
You want to fill me in on this one?
Yeah.
You want to help the guy with the question?
Yeah. I can answer your question. Sure could. If it wasn't the most stupidest question I have ever heard. And why? And no, why? Sarah, you're the nobody here, take it.
Nicely articulated, Dick.
Well, Dick and Kenny, he's right. Actually, in 1996, a legislation was passed that prohibited the use of any firearms firing ammunition larger than .308 caliber.
Well,
although later found out.
Looks like we got a real know-it-all in our hands here, Dickie.
Okay, I'd like to apologize for Miss Sarah here's smart aleck request. Smart aleck response, whatever you want to call it. Sit down, Sarah. Okay, I want to transition into something that actually has to relate with gun safety. It's a little story. Kenny, you're going to remember this story. 2 weeks ago, Kenny and I were at my big old deer stand. And for those of you who don't know where my deer stand is, it's about 25 miles south of Ducksboro Creek, down there about 5 miles east of old Boona's Golf Park down there. You take 45 south, 3 interchanges down. She's got kicked.
Well, it's about, anyway, it's about 6 miles past Jonesboro there. You know, the other side of Old Man Reaper's old hog shed. You know, I'll spare you the details. I'll let you folks Google maps it later.
You're kissing your technology. I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something. I can't do it. Anyways, we're sitting out there in my deer stand. Yeah. And I see this big old buck come walking up. He happens in an 18-pointer. He comes walking up across this big old hind end right in front of our stand. So I pull my rifle up and just bang it right there.
And I said to Dick, I said to him, I said, here's what I said.
Okay, tell me.
Dick, I'm going to shoot you that deer. Okay? That's not what you said. Here's what I said. Here's what he said.
Well, tell him what I said.
Okay. I'll cut to the chase here.
Okay, here's what I said.
Here's what he says. He says, Kenny, I'm going to shoot that deer. I'm going to gut it. I'm going to eat it. And I'm going to ask the Lord to bless it to the nourishment of my body. That's what he says.
That's what I says to him. I feel it. That's what I says to him. And so anyways, we both shot at them, like I said. And so the meat locker right now. That's all I gotta say. But Kitty, why don't you tell the point of the whole thing?
Moral of the story here, kids. Moral of the story is, in the heat of our time, Dickie forgot to activate the trigger mechanism of the rifle, causing a round to discharge from the chamber.
Yes, I'm ashamed to admit that. And
fortunately, nobody was hurt.
That's right. Fortunately, nobody was hurt.
Because this right here, kids, is a classic example of what happens when you don't adhere to the creed.
That's right.
Dick, we want to go ahead and cover the creed.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that, shall we?
Let's cover the screen. You're supposed to do that a while ago. Well, you're not gonna... Eddie, I told you we shouldn't have prepared this lecture so last minute.
I'm aware. All right, kid. You know what?
What we'll do is we're gonna go ahead and see if any of you wackos over here can recite the creed.
Looks like a little boy in the front row just volunteered.
Come on up here, Bucko.
Come on up here. Can you
Recite the creed for us.
I'm a girl.
Okay, whatever.
Your opinion. Recite it.
I promise to abide by the laws of hunter's safety, and I promise to...
You thought you could go out there and shoot yourself a big old deer without understanding the value of the creed.
You selfish, two-bit shithead.
Sit down, Dillweed.
Any other takers out there?
Looks like the whole class has volunteered themselves for an A-class exercise. Everybody up!
Recite the creed with me again. I pledge to abide by the laws of safe hunting. I realize that the difference between life and death is a safety switch away. I, in no way, will put any of my fellow hunters or lay people in any danger. I realize that the difference between life and death is a safety switch away. I will in no way put any of my fellow hunters or lay people in any danger. I, therefore,
Will it never engage in
any of the stab ya, bag ya, and throw ya in the river poaching techniques. Hunter's honor? Hunter's honor. That's right. Sit down.
As we were talking earlier about the unfortunate mishap where Dickie here caused a round to discharge from the chamber of his rifle, fortunately, nobody was hurt.
That's right, guys. Back to that story. There's something.
Sure.
There's something that Kenny forgot to talk about. And that's the fact that I saw his bullet go right over the back of that there buck. And it's in my name as a meat walker. And I'm going to be sticking my teeth into some big old venison steaks this weekend.
I'm sorry. Who shot the deer?
I did.
You did.
Yeah,
You did. What about it? Dickie, there is no way in this physical earth that you could have shot that with the bullet that fast.
Well,
My ears in the shower afterwards.
what you're trying to articulate is there's probably no way I could have seen that.
Probably not. Okay. No way.
He has a little trouble.
Yeah. The accident of 96 didn't help.
Okay. But I actually did see that because my grandfather was Lowell Howard, editor of Field Street magazine for the last 22 years.
Lowell Howard,
Yeah.
I don't care about this liberal magazine, okay? You know what? If I could, I would string you up by your toes.
I bet you would. I bet you would. If you didn't have a herniated disc.
Herniated disc now?
Yeah.
Herniated disc.
Yeah.
Herniated disc like that. You want from Michigan?
I see it. Did you just come on? Okay. I told you not to look like Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders.
And look at that mustache. You're sure not doing a very good job of that.
Really?
Yeah.
You sound like Al Borland.
Al Borland, huh?
You got it, Bubba.
You.
What am I?
Do nothing, dumpster diving, donut eating, dodo.
Yeah, at least I'm not a hammy hippo.
Hammy hippo,
Yeah,
huh?
hammy hippo.
Hammy hippo, huh? At least I'm not a crisscrossing goat eater.
Crisscross go getter, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? At least I'm not a frog-eating ogre.
Oh, frog eating ogre, huh?
so shining red gold.
Oh, you're block-kicking butt.
The freedom-hating whale warrior?
Okay, yeah, okay. Freedom-hating whale warrior. Okay. That's an insult to my patriotism.
I recognize that.
Okay, you know what, Kitty? Because we're gonna sell this like we used to in the old days with a slice of cake.
That'd be great.
Okay.
I'm a little hungry.
Right, that's right. This looks pretty good here, Kitty. It was all right, Kitty. Oh, stop that, Kieran! You know it! You know it! Stop that,
Doesn't life so often feel times we're just walking around in the dark? It's like sometimes we think we finally are getting to understand life and how it works and understand ourselves, and all of a sudden we don't, right? In Ephesians 4:18, Paul tells us that. He's talking about the Gentiles and he challenges us. He says how they've been darkened in their understanding and separated from the life of God. And he challenges us not to live that way. And I was connecting this darkness and light, and I realized that God is light. In 1 John 1:5, we learn that he is the light, and we know God loves us. And so he loves being the light, to have the light turn on for us. And he loves to help us understand ourselves and understand him. So I hope now in this brief moment I have with you, just to maybe help us understand ourselves and understand him better. So if you just pray with me real quick. Father, we thank you so much for a fun night, Lord, of laughter and just good times. And we just pray at the closing of this night, Lord, that you just maybe speak to us and help us to better understand you and maybe understand ourselves better. We pray this in your name. Amen. So I was trying to think about what to talk about, and there's one thing that was really on my mind, and that's just in general, as I look at people in general, there's two kinds of people that you see. And there's people that are joyful and thankful. And by joyful, we mean that they kind of have this enduring peace. This peace that doesn't really go away. It's even when other things in life don't really go right, that they just are okay, right? And they're thankful a lot. They're so thankful. And then there's the other kind of people that are always wanting. And they have kind of this, they have happiness, but it's like a roller coaster happiness. And that's our little roller coaster there. And they have these highs and lows. You know what I'm talking about? You see them like, hey, high five. And they go give you a big hug, and they're on top of the world. Next day, they're like, hey, what's up? And then they're like, walk. You know what I'm talking about? And they just have these highs and these lows, and you never know how they're going to be feeling, because as soon as things in their life aren't going well, then they're not going well either. It's just, and they're kind of up and down. And this is so ironic, right, when you look at joyfulness, because in our world, I mean, logically, it makes sense that when you're happy, when you have a lot of things, the people that possess so much would be the most joyful. But we know that's not the case, right? Because so often the people that possess so much are the people that are sometimes in emptiness, the people that are never satisfied. And likewise, we know that the people that sometimes possess so little are some of the most thankful people. They're some of the most joyful people you ever meet. So what's going on here? As I started thinking about this, I came up with this general thought. Here it is. It's if you have what it is you need most, then you are joyful and thankful. And likewise, if you don't have what it is you need most, then you're not joyful and thankful. You could be kind of having this always wanting, this emptiness, this roller coaster happiness. So this kind of tells us something, right? Because we know some people that have been convinced of what they needed most, right? And they pursue that thing for so long, they finally get it, but they don't end up joyful and thankful, do they? They kind of end up with more of this kind of always wanting, this kind of needing, this kind of roller coaster happiness. When things are going well, that thing that they wanted. When they're high, then they're high. When it's low, they're low. So the other thing I noticed about thankfulness is you can't fake it. Right? And we sometimes try to. And I was trying to think of an example when we fake thankfulness. I think the prime time is Christmas. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Because you make that list thinking that everyone's going to stick to it, or you hope they at least will stick to it. But everyone always gets creative, right? And they go off the list. And I remember it was about my 5th grade year. I think I was trying to impress a lady or something, so I asked for some cologne, and I put that on my Christmas list. And Christmas time comes around, and I don't know how you guys do your Christmas, but for us, like, we used to just all open them at once. But then we started getting more sentimental. We'll say, oh, let's open them one at a time. And we'll kind of really take that in, and we'll see what everyone got. But then it's just so much more pressure, right? Because what if they didn't get you what you wanted? Then you got to really put on the act. Oh, you know. So anyway, so I asked for cologne. I get ready to open my present, and I feel it. I said, oh yeah, it's the cologne. I can feel the glass bottle. And so I get excited. I get ready to open it. And I got the camera right in my face, and I open it, and I see a lasso on the cover. It's Stetson. And I don't know if you guys know what Stetson is, but it's kind of like this, hey, come smell me, I'm a middle-aged cowboy. It wasn't all what I wanted, and then you got the camera in there, and you got to kind of fake it and do that little smile thing, but it just doesn't really work, right? The other time I thought of this was at worship. Sometimes we come here for worship all the time, and sometimes you're just not feeling it in the morning. And the worship leader, he kind of stops after the first song and says, come on, guys, aren't you thankful that Jesus died for you on the cross? And then immediately we all know we should respond, right? Maybe there's like 2 people, one up there, one down here, and they're like, woo! And some people kind of clap, and then everyone else just kind of goes, oh man, I should have said something. I should have screamed, right? Because the reality is sometimes we're just thankful in our minds, but it's not really in our heart, right? It's not really this overflowing thing. It kind of just feels fake. And what I realized about that situation is it's pointing to another reality, a greater reality. And if we could just be real honest with ourselves, just be real frank, and for most of us, what we need most, what we really think we need most, isn't a Savior to die on the cross, but for most of us, it's something else. Right? What's really on our mind, what we think we need most. And I was trying to think of some of these things, and here are just a couple, as I think of myself and other people, things that seem to be on our mind. And for us, if we could just get this thing, then we're convinced that we would be happy. Some of these things were like a significant other. Oh man, we even joke about this here a lot, but really, everyone you talk to, it's like, if I could just find that Mr. or Mrs. Right, and we'd be fine, we'd be happy and content. And that's what we think. And then, or for some people, I'd say, if that Mr. or Mrs. Right would just appreciate me the way they once did, right? Some of us already have that significant other. That's not the same anymore. Or maybe it's friends. Maybe you have conflicts with broken relationships with your friends. Or maybe you just don't have the friends you want. Or maybe it's some image you're trying to portray, and people would just see you this way. Or maybe if you physically just look this way, then if you could just get that, then you'd be happy. Or maybe it's something with your family. If this conflict would just get worked out, then I'd be all better. Or maybe it's some kind of money situation. If these loans would work out, if this financial situation, I know I'm in a lot of debt. Or maybe it's some health problem. If I could just get feeling better, then I know I'd be better, right? But the crazy thing is that we've all known people that have gotten all these things and yet still been empty, right? And so what I want to propose to you tonight, these are all secondary needs. And so if there's a secondary need, there must be a primary need. So I'm going to draw this primary need. And if you'll notice, it doesn't really have an end. Well, there you go. Infinity has an infinite. And I'm going to call this the heart, or we'll call it the soul. And so infinite. It goes on forever. It's never filled. And so you've heard this maybe cliche term, if the desires of the heart are infinite and only an infinite God can fill them. So, I think the story that portrays this the best is woman at the well. And a lot of us, we all know the story, right? It's this woman that's going to get a drink at this well, and she encounters Jesus, and then Jesus asks her for a drink of water. She's kind of like, whoa, what are you talking to me for? I'm a Samaritan, you're a Jew, you're not supposed to talk to me. And then Jesus replies here in verse 10, he says, if you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water. Living water. And so he's comparing living water to the water in the well that's just kind of stagnant and old and can run out. But he's saying, I'll give you living water. It's this picture of water that's just flowing, it's abundant, it doesn't run out, it's fresh. And the woman said, oh man, where do I get this water? She still thinks he's talking about literally the water. Jesus answered, everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks the water I give him will never thirst. And then Jesus takes the whole story and flips it upside down, and he's talking about spiritually. He sees right through it and he says, you have 5 husbands. You've had 5 husbands. And the man you're with right now isn't even your husband. And he points out that this water, that you're thirsty because you're drinking from a well that can never satisfy you. And if I could just tell you what I think is going on here, for her, she's trying to take this infinite desire, and she said, okay, I'm going to take my heart's intention, and I'm going to hook up here. I'm going to try to fill this infinite void from that. But it wasn't working, right? She went from one man to the other, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working. And so, the question I want to ask you is, what is your well? What is it you're going to do to try to fill that void? And many of you guys are saying, maybe just getting frustrated and saying, yeah, Julian, I already know this. I've already heard this message of God, the void only God can fill it. And I already know that. And I already know that we can try to fulfill all these things and it won't work because only God can really make you happy. But can I ask you something? Do you really know? Do you really know? We're so quick to say, I know that. But is it possible you could be deceived? Dave Ward at Summit last year, he explained the word deceived and kind of just, I can't believe I didn't understand what it meant, but it really means you're believing something that's not true, something that's false. And by definition of deceived, you cannot know that you're not believing it. You don't know that you're chasing after something that's not going to really help you. You don't know, by definition. You almost need an outside light to help you see things correctly. You almost need an outside source. And so you could be deceived. And the other thing I want to challenge you with, is it possible that the thing you really think you need most isn't the thing that you are thinking of in your head, but is it possible the thing you think you need most is the thing that consumes your mind, it's the thing that consumes your emotions. It's the thing you chase after. It's the thought or hope that helps you get up in the morning. Is it possible that's the thing you really believe you need most? I didn't become a Christian until I was about a sophomore or so. And I had gone to church for a while, and I'd heard many messages where I realized that all these things, I could pursue them all I wanted in my life, but they're never going to fill me. But I'd go to church, and people would tell me that only God was going to fill me, but somehow I just couldn't grasp onto that idea. But there was a story, one of my favorite stories, I think, in the Bible, that Jesus gives us to help us understand God. And that's the story of the prodigal son. And we're all pretty familiar with this, so I'll just do some quick summary, but the basic story is there's this younger son, and he's living with his father, and the father's just a perfectly loving father. He says, everything I have is yours. Everything I have is yours. But the son, he didn't want what the father had. He went out into the world. He started seeking other things, and we even learned that he was going to prostitutes and things of that sort. And he went and spent all his money. And after he'd spent all his money, there was a severe famine, and this guy found himself empty and starving. Empty and starving. And so he went out and hired himself at this guy's place, and he started working with the pigs. And you've got to understand, in the Jewish culture, if you're working with the pigs, that was like the unclean thing. It was the thing you thought you would never do. And he reaches a point of emptiness that's so great that he starts even craving the pods, the food that the pigs are eating. And then he says, the scripture says he comes to his senses. He says, when he came to his senses, he said, how many of my father's hired men have food to spare, and here I am starving to death. And he decides in his mind, he says, I have no other hope, so he says, I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired men. And I've always read over that verse so fast, and I think I missed something. 2 really important things. And the things that really stuck out to me were that he's rehearsing what he's going to say. And I don't know about you guys, but whenever I rehearse what I'm going to say, when I feel ashamed, it's because I'm really scared, you know what I mean? That's when you're really, it's almost like you just sense in him a fear that he's afraid he's going to be rejected, but he doesn't know what other place to go. So he's rehearsing what he's going to say. He's like, this is what I'll say. I'll go back to him and I'll tell this to him. And do you notice the other thing? He said, I'm not even worthy to be your son anymore. I know what I've done, but look, if you'll just let me be your hired servant, I'll be more than pleased. And you got to remember, this is his son. This is the father's son that he grew up with. And he says, look, you don't have to, look, just call me, you don't have to call me son. Just let me be a servant. I'll be more than happy. So he goes out, and we all know what happens, right? He goes home, and then it says, while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. And he ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. Man, that's not something that, he wasn't like the father just sitting there and all singing a song and all saying, oh, where's my son? Oh, boy. No, it's like, that's the tip of an iceberg, right? That kind of reaction. That was a brokenness the father had for his son. That was the tip of it. His father was broken the whole time. But yet, even though the father was holding him and embracing him, and his love was completely shown to him, there was still relational brokenness. And so the son still, while his father's love is completely known to him, the son has to still tell him. He says, Father, look, I sinned against heaven and against you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring a fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. So they began to celebrate. And all those things he gave them, those representative, those were things, the sandals, the only servants would wear in shoes, only the sons would. And the calf was a way of celebrating, and the ring was a sign of authority. And so it's basically this father saying, hey, look, the idea of you not coming here was not even in my mind, and I already have all these things for you, and you're totally accepted back perfectly. And so what's so funny, though, is we often see people, whether you're a Christian or whether you're not, that are in both of these areas, because it's so easy for us to go looking to something else to fill that point. So my question is to you, what is it you need most? And could you be deceived? Is it possible that you could finally get that thing you think you need and it could turn up empty? I also wanted to say, you know that song that says, Chris Tomlin says, you give and take away, but blessed be your name? That song finally made sense to me. Because once you begin to live with this full, then these things can start to fluctuate, and you could even lose dear loved ones, and it would still hurt, but there's something bigger, because this is being filled. And I finally understood that that's what that song is all about. It says you give and take away, but you've realized that there's a primary need, and when that's full, you can somehow make it through. Would you pray with me? Father, I just thank you so much. I realize this message is maybe a little intense, but it's a reality, Lord. So we thank you for your truth, for your love, Lord, that you provided your word. And most of all, Lord, that you ran to us, Lord, when you gave your son to die on the cross. We thank you for that, Lord. I pray for each one here, Lord, that they would just come to know you more and more, Lord, that you would be the filler of their infinite heart, Lord, the desires of their infinite heart. And we thank you and we love you. We thank you for this wonderful night. We pray that you just bless the rest of the events. We pray this in your name. Amen. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Hey guys, thanks for coming out tonight. I hope you've had the time of your lives. Thanks for spending Valentine's Day with us. We love you all so much.
Right. Thank everybody. Hey everyone. Let's do this one last. That's for you. For our final FNL show this year.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now.